Hello and welcome to YouTube for you. So in this video we will set up this takedown from air functionality, and you guys can see this is totally procedural. If I will move my AI to some other spot, our character is properly perform this stealth takedown, or even if we change the height like so. So let's get started, guys. So in our previous tutorial we have set up this stealth takedown from back functionality. Now I'm gonna open my character blueprint. Here we have takedown from back. Now I'm gonna move it aside and create a new custom event. And I'm gonna call this takedown from above. Let's see. And I'm gonna duplicate the same functionality that we have done in our previous video. Sphere trace for objects, and for the start location I'm gonna use the get actor location. For the end location I'm gonna use the for start location, let's disconnect both of these. I'm gonna grab the forward vector of my character rotation, multiply this with 200 units and add this to my start actor location, and this will be my start location. And for the end location I'm gonna subtract in z-axis, let's 360 in z. This value will be the height that you want to perform stealth takedown. So I'm gonna use for now 360, and for the radius I'm gonna use 180, and let's for duration. So if our stealth takedown from back didn't hit anything, then we will perform stealth takedown from above. Takedown from above. So if our this trace takedown from back isn't hit anything, then we will call takedown from above, and let's see the result. So here is our takedown from above trace is working. So now I'm gonna put a branch over here, break the hit result, and I'm gonna get the actor location of the trace. Get actor location, get actor location of hit actor, and also get actor location of our actor. Now let's find look at rotation. Grab the forward vector, multiply the forward vector with float. That float will be the distance between our character and the enemy AI, and the distance value will be get from get actor location. I'm gonna subtract the get actor location of our actor, grab the vector length, and clamp the vector length. To minimum will be 250 and maximum will be 1000, and place it into our forward vector. So this will find the distance between our actor and the enemy AI, and then we will use that distance value to multiply our forward vector that we have find between our actor location and enemy actor location by using find look at rotation. So after getting this value, I'm gonna use launch character, and in our launch character I'm gonna split the struct pin for X, Y and Z. For the Z value, I'm gonna grab my character movement component and get the Z velocity, get jump Z velocity. That will be our Z velocity. And for X and Y, I'm gonna break this vector and use X and Y for this. So this functionality will procedurally jump our character to enemy AI location. By using this calculation, our character perform the jump and exactly land on the enemy AI location. So if I hit play, let's wait a minute, I'm gonna find look at rotation between our actor location and enemy AI. Here you guys can see our character properly land on the enemy AI location. If I move the enemy location forward and backward, our character is properly land on the enemy spot. If I increase or decrease the height of, then you can also see the result. For the minimum value, I'm gonna use 150 for now, and you can see the trace and launch character is properly working fine. So now let's open our character blueprint. So if this functionality executes, then we will use set timer by event, a new timer. I'm gonna call the event, create a custom event. I'm gonna call this trace for takedown, and promote this timer to variable. I'm gonna call this takedown from above timer, and set the looping to true, and time will be 0.1 second. So when our launch character executes, we will set our timer, and that timer will trace again the enemy AI location. So I'm going to duplicate the same functionality from here, paste it over here. For the forward vector, I'm gonna use 45, and for Z, subtract the Z, I'm gonna use 180, and for the trace radius, I'm gonna use 90. So if I hit play, you can see when we are landing, the trace is working fine. So before launching character, we need to get our character movement component and stop movement immediately, so that our character won't move ahead of the enemy location. So if I disable this trace, so we will use that trace that we have set up here to detect when trace hit enemy, then we will perform the stealth takedown with proper height. So now our second trace is also working fine. We will go to the content browser, and here we have our takedown from above animations. So I'm gonna delete first 5 frames of this animation. So here is the takedown from above animation with proper root motion enabled, and here we have our victim animation from takedown from above. I'm gonna also remove the first 5 frames for enemy. Now I'm gonna right click and create animation montage. I'm gonna call this takedown above attacker, like so, and I'm gonna set the default slot to stealth takedown slot. So we have set up all this functionality in our previous video, where we have set up all the slots functionality and motion warping. I have explained all the motion warping functionality in that video. So if you haven't watched that video, I will highly recommend you to watch that video first, so that you can get proper idea of the motion warping functionality. So now let's open our takedown attack montage, and we need 2 motion warping components for executing this takedown. So I'm gonna right click on notified track and add motion warping component. So for the first motion warping, that will be at this point, like so, and I'm gonna add new track, and I'm gonna add the second motion warping component after that. That will be end at this point, like so. So the first motion warping component move our character to enemy, let's say head location, and the second motion warping component land our character to ground, proper ground. So for the first motion warping component, I'm gonna set this to go to details panel, set the root motion modifier to skew wrap, and I'm gonna call this what we have called previously, which is attack. I'm gonna call this attack, and warp translation to true and ignore z axis to false. Compile, save. And also at this point I'm gonna add the skeleton notify, which will be stealth takedown attack ends. So at this point the stealth takedown attack ends calls, and we will execute our remaining functionality that we have set up in our previous video. And for the second motion warping component, I'm gonna also set this to skew warp and set the warp target name to something different. I'm gonna add this to attack end, and similarly set the ignore z axis to false and remaining to true. Save this. So this is our stealth takedown attack from above. My animation montage is ready. Now I'm gonna right click and create a victim montage. For this I'm gonna call this takedown above victim, and in this we have simply called this event at this point. That will be our stealth takedown victim ends at this point, like so. So now I'm gonna go to my character blueprint, and after the trace hit something, first we need to use branch for our hair, and then we will calculate the warp points for our animation montage or motion warping component. So we have already created our stealth takedown location. I'm gonna use that. This will be our warp point 1. For this I'm gonna break the hit result, get the hit actor location. That will be our this stealth takedown. This will be our first warp point, warp location. That is this motion warping component. And I'm gonna make another variable that will be my takedown end, warp point. I'm gonna set it over here. Set the variable type to vector, and for the takedown warp endpoint I'm gonna use this stealth takedown location and subtract 90 in z-axis. That will be my landing spot. So when this motion warping component calls, we will land our character to ground, and the location will be this -90. And for the warp rotation we have also created some variable stealth takedown rotation. For this I'm gonna get the enemy actor rotation, get actor rotation, like so. So here we have our warp points is calculated. Now we need to call this execute stealth takedown. So before executing stealth takedown I'm gonna promote the animation montage to some variable. I'm gonna call this takedown montage, like so. So after calculating the warp points we will set the takedown animation montage to our takedown attack, and after that when this is set we will first or clear this timer that is the trace for enemy. I'm gonna grab this timer and use clear and invalidate timer, and after that we will execute takedown. And when execute takedown fires, first we will stop movement, set the movement mode to flying, and in previous video we have used this one warp point for performing stealth takedown. In this takedown above we need 2 warp points for executing the stealth takedown. So I'm gonna duplicate the same functionality, the same nodes, add or update warp target location and rotation. So in our first motion warping component we have set this to attack and second to attack end. I'm gonna use for second, I'm gonna use the attack end over here. And for the location, I'm gonna use the takedown warp end, and the rotation will also the same for stealth takedown rotation, like so. So here is our attacking functionality completes. Now if I hit play, you can see it performs animation. I'm gonna set the rate scale to 0.8 for now for both attack and victim, and it's working. So our attacker functionality is complete, and for the victim we will use the interface that we have created in our previous video. That will be our own stealth takedown victim. We will call this interface that will execute the takedown victim animation montage for our victim. So I'm gonna add a input over in my takedown victim. That will be my montage to play. I'm gonna set the variable type to animation montage, anim montage, object reference, compile, save. So we will use this animation montage to play when we call this, when the takedown on victim function calls on our enemy AI. We will execute this montage, that is this input. And for the montage to play, we will set the montage over here. That will be our takedown victim montage. And now if I hit play, it's not performing properly. And so the issue is we haven't set our slot for our enemy AI. So in the animation montage for takedown victim, we have created this stealth takedown animation slot in our previous video, and we need to set that to stealth takedown as well. So now if I hit play, you can see our stealth takedown is properly working fine. If I disable the trace and now hit play, you can see our takedown functionality is properly working fine. So now if I increase or decrease the length of the object, you can see it's properly working fine. And for executing stealth takedown from back, we need to set the to victim as well. Now you can see our both stealth takedown from back and stealth takedown from above functionalities are working fine. So I hope you guys like this video. So don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel, and you can also support me on Patreon and gain access to all these project files. I have uploaded that project files in my Patreon page. You can gain access to all the project files and also communicate me over there. So see you guys in the next video. Thank you.